Miami Lakers, welcome to our COVID-19 update here in the town of Miami Lakes on Monday. Remember, we go live on Mondays and Thursdays. We do mental health Thursdays every week. I'm joined by our deputy town manager, Tony Lopez, today. I see a lot of folks logging in. Patricia, good to see you, Patricia. What else do we got on? Enrique, nice to see you. Lynn Matos, Vivian Levy. There's more and more folks coming on. Barbara Reyes, welcome, Barbara. Good to see you guys. I know there's been a lot of concerns with the numbers increasing as testing has been increasing throughout Florida. That's one of the things that we always wanted initially, is that more and more people get tested, and we keep contact tracing overall throughout Florida, and keep following those cases, making sure that more and more folks get tested. With the stats on what's happening here today in our community, where are the numbers for Miami Lakes, what's going on? There was a new county order today that will go into effect on Wednesday. That order will go in effect on Wednesday. The details of that order is going to be showcased right now by Tony Lopez. Tony, what's going on with the cases here in our town? What are we seeing? And also, and just so you know, when we talk about that number, that means from the beginning of the pandemic. That does not mean that's the number that just happened now, but from the beginning of the pandemic, he's going to give us that total and the new order from the county as to what we're going to be looking at. Start submitting your questions now, and we'll get to them in a little bit. Tony?
Thank you, Mayor. So, hello, Miami Lakers. There are a few major highlights regarding the coronavirus I'd like to share with you today. First, the mayor of Miami-Dade County will be signing an emergency order that will close restaurants except for takeout and delivery services, along with ballrooms, banquet facilities, party venues, gyms and fitness centers, and short-term rentals. These closings, among others that will be included in the order, will be effective Wednesday, July 8th. Outdoor activities, including condominium and hotel pools, with strict social distancing and mask rules, as well as summer camps and child daycare centers with strict capacity limits that also require masks and social distancing of at least 6 feet, will continue to remain open. Beaches will open tomorrow, Tuesday, July 7th. However, if the county notices crowding and people not following the public health rules, they may decide to close the beaches again. Now, the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. countywide curfew will also continue to remain in force, with exceptions for essential workers and for people who have religious obligations. Second, the town of Miami Lakes has had a total of 258 cases to date. As the mayor explained earlier, that is from the beginning of the pandemic. However, since last week, we have had approximately 83 new cases. This increase is in Miami-Dade and Florida as a whole. Lastly, we cannot stress enough that we as a community are still not over this virus yet. Please continue taking any necessary precautions, such as wearing a mask, practicing social distancing, and following the rules and guidance provided by federal, state, and local agencies. Only by taking these steps together as a community can we help stop the continued spread of this virus. And now in Spanish y en español. Hola, Miami Lakers. Hay algunos puntos importantes sobre el coronavirus que me gustaría compartir con ustedes hoy. Primero, el alcalde del condado de Miami-Dade firmará una orden de emergencia que cerrará los restaurantes, excepto los servicios de comida para llevar y entrega, junto con salones de baile, instalaciones para banquetes, lugares para fiestas, gimnasios y alquileres a corto plazo. Estos cierres, entre otros, que incluirían en la orden, entrarán en vigencia el miércoles 8 de julio. Las actividades al aire libre, que incluyen piscinas de condominios y hoteles con estrictas reglas de distanciamiento social y máscaras, así como campamento de verano y guarderías infantiles con límites estrictos de capacidad que requieren máscaras y distanciamiento social de menos de 6 pies, permanecerán abiertas. Las playas estarán abiertas el martes, mañana, 7 de julio, pero si vemos grupos y personas que no siguen las reglas de salud pública, el condado podría cerrar las playas nuevamente. Los edificios de oficinas, tiendas y servicios de aseo también permanecerán abiertos por ahora. Desde las 10 p.m. hasta las 6 de la mañana, el toque de queda en todo el condado seguirá vigente con excepciones para los trabajadores esenciales y para las personas que tienen una obligación religiosa. En segundo lugar, la ciudad de Miami Lakes ha tenido un total de 258 casos hasta esta fecha. Desde la semana pasada hemos tenido 83 casos nuevos. Este aumento es consistente con el aumento de casos dentro de Miami-Dade y la Florida. Último, nosotros no estamos sobre este virus todavía. Continúa tomando las precauciones necesarias, como usar una máscara, practicar el distanciamiento social y seguir las reglas y la orientación de las agencias federales, estatales y locales. Solo tomando esos pasos juntos, como comunidad, podemos ayudar a detener la propagación continua del virus.
Thank you, Tony. So, Miami Lakers, you've heard some new rules coming this Wednesday. Although I personally disagree with the county mayor in his order. I know the impact throughout our nation have had. We know that 22% of small businesses throughout our nation, from the first closing, they closed their doors. And disproportionately, it impacted Black-owned and Hispanic-owned businesses. Over 70% of the 22 businesses that closed in our nation were minority-owned. So we know the impact it's going to have. The reality is we need to keep wearing our masks. But although I personally disagree with the county mayor on his decision today, we will be following the county guidelines. Obviously, we believe in the rule of law and understanding that there is a process. So while I personally encourage the county mayor to relook at his rules, because I don't think they're going to work, we will be following his rules starting on Wednesday, because that's how the process works specifically here in Florida and how the county's charter works. The county has a home rule charter. All those home rule authorities for cities throughout Florida, Miami-Dade County in specific is a home rule county. So we will be following the county's guidelines, even though I personally disagree with them. And I know how much of an impact that's going to have throughout our county, specifically to our small business community, for the minority small businesses more than anything that we're seeing the impacted. But Miami Lakers, if you have questions, start submitting them now. We're going to start taking your questions. I know there's a lot of anxiety. Look, I'll give you guys a quick example. There's a lot of emotional anxiety. There's a lot of emotional impact due to COVID-19. My dad has Parkinson's. I haven't been able to give my dad a hug in about 4 months. And I can tell you, it's taking a toll on him, this whole pandemic. But we got to keep working as fast as possible, because I know there's a lot of social isolation out there. We want to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Folks like my dad who have their immune system is really compromised. So we want to make sure we keep taking care of those folks while our economy continues moving forward. But yeah, we want to take your questions, comments, and concerns. I know today's news, the reality is a step back. And it's a major step back for our community and for the entire Miami-Dade County. Clarissa?
We have a question from Alejandro Sanchez. If the summer camp at Shula's Athletic Club will remain open or will it close?
That's a good question, Tony. So Shula's is a gym, and I know their summer camp operates out of the gym facility and all that. What's going to happen with them? Is that a conversation? Obviously, from today's order, we're going to have today, tomorrow, and Wednesday morning to see what happens. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for right now, our understanding that summer camps are going to remain open. However, our understanding that Shula's is a private provider. So that's something we will likely reach out to them and follow up on that question and get more specifics if they intend to make any adjustments with their summer camps. But for now, the order does not restrict summer camps from operating.
We have another question from Enrique Ricabal. Do we have any idea how long this new order will last?
So I don't think there's a definite time frame. There's no definite time frame. I personally disagree with it, but yeah, there's no time frame as to how long it can last. Hopefully not long. Hopefully maybe the county mayor rescinds this, but there is no time frame. So we don't know how long it will last. We don't know if he's going to make amendments to it and add more businesses. So right now we don't know what's going on.
A question from Antonio Lopez Perez. Will this order affect the community apartment pools? Will they have to close as well?
So no, it does not affect community apartment pools, condo pools. Actually, the county mayor is allowing for beaches to reopen tomorrow. We'll be reopening tomorrow. You can continue going to the pool, but we don't know what the county mayor will be doing going forward. I mean, we don't know to that extent. I don't think those conversations have not been had with us. Nor I think many other municipalities. I've talked to other mayors today, and I know a lot of them were surprised by today's actions.
And one other question from Susie Hernandez Pacheco. Do the closings include dance schools?
Do the closings include dance schools? I don't believe so, Tony.
At this time, we have not seen that in the order. And again, if it's a summer camp program, but dance schools themselves have not been specified in the order, and we can also follow up on that question to provide any additional plans. We have yet to see the final order. That final order will be coming out by Wednesday. It may be that some additional businesses get added between now and then, which we'll be sure to share with you all. However, dance schools, as of now, is not listed specifically in the press release that was sent by the mayor today.
So the question is a no, and we'll let you know if it changes. Anything else from Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube?
Yes, we have a follow-up question from Mr. Lopez Ferrez. Will we have to wear masks in public while walking on sidewalks or walking our dog?
Yes.
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, I think that is part of the rule. It's something originally that the town, we never did, we disagreed with, right? We looked at the data, we looked at what scientists and the doctors were saying that the infection rate outdoors, specifically casual encounters, walking your dog, walking on the sidewalk, the infection rate was very minimal compared to in the indoor infection rate where there are a lot of people. But that's why we never took action initially on that issue. But the county has taken action, and they are requiring masks to be worn everywhere. I mean, there's some exceptions. I don't know if you want to talk about
the main exception is if you're doing a strenuous activity. I believe it's a child under 2 years old. Those are some of the limitations.
So yeah, the county ended up preempting all the cities in Dade County. We never took that action because we were following what was being was that outdoor casual interactions in terms of just walking your dog, going outside. Really, the infection rate was minimal to almost zero. The chance of getting it. We do know that the big issues were happening indoors. Specifically with a lot of people, but right now you do have to wear it, except you're riding your bike, you're jogging, you're working out, you're doing that stuff, you don't have to wear it. And I know there's children under a certain age.
We have a question from Gary Poe regarding in-person meetings with staff. He'd like to schedule an in-person meeting soon.
So I'll hand it out to Tony. So he's in-person meetings with staff.
We will be in contact and touch base with Mr. Poe if he can provide us information, and we'll have staff follow up with him regarding his request.
Got it. Anything else
No other questions at the moment.
We'll give you guys another 30 seconds to a minute to ask any other questions. We know there's a lot of folks watching, a lot of new people. Look, Clara, good to see you, Clara. She just logged on. Jose Morales, great to see you. Thanks for watching. Anyone else, Tony? Anything else, Tony, you wanted to add in?
No, I think while this seems to be a step back, it's also just a reminder again that this virus is still very present within our communities, and it's critically important that we continue to follow the rules, wear your mask, and hopefully sooner rather than later, as the numbers, if we work together, we can get the numbers back down again, and things will reopen faster than we want. We want them to. So.
Yeah, that's a definite. Keep wearing your mask. I mean, that's really the key. Avoid a lot of the big parties. I know over 4th of July there was a lot of parties and a lot of folks getting together, which is great. But I think that's one of the main things. Those big parties in indoor spaces. That was a big problem that was happening throughout the county, throughout Florida, and really throughout the nation. So let's keep doing the right thing. Let's keep wearing our mask. More importantly, I think there's obviously no cure right now. There are treatments. It looks like there's some good signs on treatments that are being used. I mean, I saw some of the studies that were released recently, and some of the treatments that were happening, and we saw some encouraging numbers there. But it's specifically towards a cure, towards a vaccine. That's not something that we're seeing right now happening. Obviously, there's a lot of studies, so that means in the meantime, just keep wearing your mask. I mean, I want to make sure that we move forward. The step today back is a really tough step to take for our entire society, not only Miami Lakes, just our entire community here in Dade County, specifically to those minority small businesses that have taken such a huge hit throughout the nation. We'll see what happens after this, and we'll see what actions we take here as a town. Anything else, Clarissa?
Not at the moment.
So thank you guys for tuning in. I know today's a tough day. Yo sé que hoy es un día difícil porque el condado entero está dando un paso hacia atrás para que es algo que no queríamos ver, pero se está pasando hoy. Pero vamos a seguir trabajando juntos. Sigue teniendo la máscara puesta, que es tan importante. Pero más que nada, llámalo a nosotros, cualquier cosa que necesitan, estamos aquí para ayudarlos. Queremos ver que la economía también se sigue moviendo hacia adelante, porque sabemos tan lo que ha pasado aquí en los últimos meses, algo bien. There are several businesses here in our town that have closed. I have a business that reached out to me today that just reopened today, and then they got the news as to what was happening from the county, and it's really difficult to see that happening. So please keep wearing your mask. Please keep doing what's right. Anyone else before we log off? But
No.
thank you for tuning in. If you do have any other questions and you want to ask them and you don't want to put them online, or you want to reach out to Tony or any of us, you can email us always, and you can call us here at Town Hall 305-364-6100. That's 305-364-6100. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and keep wearing your mask. We'll see if we do another video Wednesday to ensure that if anything else came out of this order, if anything changes, that you all receive the information directly from us,